Hello everyone, welcome to our weekly live stream in the land of new coaches, or YouTube, wherever you're watching from. My name is Barbara Juliano and I am the business and confidence coach for new coaches. I am also the host of this amazing community if you're in the group. And I am so happy and excited and honored to be here to teach you every single week simple things that will help you grow your business, make money, book clients, and also make the impact that you want to. So I got to do the introduction because we do have so many new members here all the freaking time. So I want you guys to get to know me a little bit. With that said, if you are new here, and even if you're not, go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Tell me if you're excited about this. I know money can be a touchy subject for a lot of people. I mean, I think it's even a touchy subject for me sometimes. But it's a subject that we cannot avoid as entrepreneurs. It is just the way that the path that we chose is, right? Like we cannot have a business without making money. And the more that we avoid this type of conversations, the more uncomfortable we're going to feel around money and the harder it's going to be for us. Jello Talina, I am doing great. How are you? Cool. Okay, so I have 3 things that I want to talk about today that they're like basic principles that have really helped me double, triple, and quadruple my income many times over. And they're not like strategic stuff. I talk about strategic stuff all the time, but this is more of just like not inner, but like just foundational principles that I think everyone should at least try, right? Like it may not be your thing, but at least give it a try because it really, really does help. So before I begin, I do want to remind everyone watching that Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern, every single week I do live trainings where I teach you different things. Like today is the 3 money principles that will help you create more money and income in your business. Other times I talk about strategic things that you need to be doing. Other times I talk about confidence because confidence is my thing. So tune in on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to start giving away free stuff, free sessions, free access to my courses if you are here live. So make sure that you're doing that. The other thing I'm doing is on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, I am doing live business and confidence coaching. So on Wednesdays, I ask you guys in this group, what do you guys need support with? What questions do you have? What do you need to know to grow your business, whether it's strategy business stuff or whether it's confidence stuff? I have a thread for that. So you guys should tell me there. And the next day I will come and do live coaching. So make sure that you're asking on Wednesday and that you're showing up live on Thursdays because it's literally free coaching. Like I charge a lot of money for this. So because you're in my community, you get my expertise for free. So let's dive right in. Let's dive right in because I don't want to make this too long. So the first principle that I have put into place from day one in my business, and for those of you who have never met me, you know that, for those of you who know me, you probably know that my business success has been slow and steady. I was not a one night, from one day to another, I became like super wealthy and my business blew up. Like my thing has been slow and steady. And it has been amazing because now that I am where I am right now, I would not have had it any other way. So just so you know, I implement this principles right now when I make good money. And I also implemented that back then when I didn't make as much money. And I think that is what helped me move forward. And that's what's going to help you too. So the first one is being grateful for the little things and even the not so good things. It's super, I know everyone talks about gratitude and being grateful for all the good things that you have and everything that you have going on. But something that I did is that not only was I grateful for the great things, like when I booked a client, or when someone liked my post, or when I went on a live stream, or when I got accepted to a podcast. I also was grateful for the bad things, quote unquote bad. I was also grateful for those, like when I had a launch and it didn't go well and it totally flopped. When one of my clients didn't finish their program, and I was left stranded. Like, I really, really practice gratitude for everything that happened in my business, whether it was good or bad. And I think what that does is that kind of puts you in an energy of like, money is coming. So no matter what happens, you are okay. Obviously feel what you have to feel. Like, that's not to say I wasn't cranky at times or mad about what was happening, but I could always see the lessons and how that experience was making me grow. So months that were not that good, emails that didn't get opened as much as I would want them to, always be grateful for that. And I think that energy of, okay, like, I'm so grateful this is happening, if not this, something better, will only help you create more financial momentum in your business. Let's see, what else? Yeah, because when we're happy and grateful, we have so much more inner stability. And when we have that inner stability, instead of coming from a place of like, this sucks, things never work, no one ever likes my post, no one ever signs up for my calls, like that type of internal status doesn't allow you to show up fully for your business. And if you don't show up fully for your business is not going to grow. So if you do want to double, triple, or quadruple your income, you always have to come from a place of excitement. And the best way to be excited is to be grateful for the good and the bad. And it may not always be easy, but we have to stay optimistic that even through the hard parts, it will shift. So how do you, have you guys experienced like a disappointment lately, or has something not gone like quote unquote as fast as you thought it should go? How can you be grateful for that? Like, let me know in the comments in the comments to the left or below, depending on where you're watching this video. How can you turn an experience into something that you're grateful for? Because that's going to start shifting your inner state and help you grow. The second one, and I have some bonus ones at the end. The second one is upgrading and investing in myself and business as I go, despite the fear. So there's a trick part to this one, right? Upgrading and investing as I go, right? So something I didn't do, which I think a lot of people do, is, and it works great for some people, but for me, it worked really well to move along, right? So I started out with what I had, where I was. I got some momentum, and then I started stretching myself, right? So like, I started with small investments, like my calendar system, my email provider, my website domain. Like, I started very small, but very quickly, very easily, I was not reinvest. Like, a lot of people get paid, or they get a client and they take that money and they buy themselves shoes, or they take themselves out to dinner, which is awesome. But that's not what I did. What I did was grab that money and reinvested it into the thing that I wanted to grow. For me, I was all in on long-term sustainability and business development, which is why pushing myself out of my comfort zone and making the scary investments helped me grow. Getting that calendar system at the beginning allowed me to book more calls. Getting that email system allowed me to sell more through email. Then hiring my first coach and signing up for my first mastermind helped me show up so much more for my business, which in turn helped me book more clients and make more money. So I did the investments that were really, really scary, but I did them when it felt like the right time. So push yourself out of your comfort zone here a little bit and reinvest in the thing that you wanted to grow, but do it when it feels good to you. Don't let anyone pressure you into buying something that you don't feel ready. Well, you may not feel ready for it, but that feels really like not in alignment for you right now. Don't do that. Like, really tune into yourself, and it's okay to feel scary, and it's okay to feel like you're not ready. Like, that's usually what happens, but it's not okay to not move, to let that fear stop you. The other thing I want to say here is, not only did I upgrade my investments, but I also upgraded my belief system, right? So when I first started out, I never thought I would get a client. Then I get a client, and then I ditched that belief. So what I did is I moved my beliefs up as I moved up myself. So once I got a client, I'm like, so that belief that I was never going to get a client is no longer true. So I let that go. Like, I literally took it out of my head and dumped it in the trash. And I never again thought about the fact that I couldn't book one client. Because if you do it once, you can do it again. Then when I booked out my entire practice for the first time, and I never thought I would be able to book my entire practice for the first time, then I grabbed that belief, I took it out, ditched it, threw it in the trash. So you have to not only be upgrading your investments and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone there, but also upgrade your belief system, right? So if you've already booked your client, your first client, there is no point whatsoever for you to worry about booking another client, because if you've done it once, you can do it again. So get that out of your mind and focus on another fear that's a little bit like more than that, right? Like maybe you're afraid that you're not going to be able to book 2 clients at the same time, right? So like you're up leveling your fears in your belief system, which means that you're aiming for more as you move along. I see a lot of people who they book their first client and they're like, oh my God, how am I going to book another client? How am I going to make this amount of money again? How am I going to hit 10K, 5K again? And it's like, don't worry, you already did it once. So like that just proves that it's doable. So there's no need to worry about it. Just do the work. Let go of that belief and focus on a way grander belief there. Hi, Jenny. Welcome. Okay. Third one. And this one is super, super important. I was always very responsible with my money. Like super, super mega responsible with my money. And I always paid my memberships on time. I always paid my coaches on time. I always paid my employees on time. I always pay my bills on time. Like literally in my personal life, in my business, I always pay stuff on time. I'm always thinking ahead. If I'm going to make an investment, how am I going to move things around and make it happen? And what happens is when you show up with that type of responsibility, you can expect other individuals to show up with that type of responsibility to invest in you. If you're out there wanting to make massive amounts of money, 5-figure months, for example, and you are ghosting your coach and running away, which that has not happened to me that often. I think it's only happened to me once, and I could not believe it. But the point is that if you're showing up with that type of energy to your business, you're not committing to being responsible to your payments. So your incoming payments are not going to show up, are going to show up the same way for you. So what you put out is what you received. If you put out responsibility around your finances, you're going to receive responsible incoming finances, right? I know this is more into like an energetic thing, but it really is the way it works. Like you are attracting what you are. I've worked with some clients who are super stressed out because they have like clients, they'll complain about like, my clients are not committed to their work, right? And a lot of times when we coach deeper into that, we find that there are places in their business and their work that they're not committed to, right? So like when you shift that, then it changes, not just from a financial perspective, but from anything else in your business as well. So pretty much walk your talk. If you want to upgrade and up-level your income, then you have to upgrade and up-level your responsibility around the income that you make. So I have some bonus ones. I know I said I only have 3, but I have some bonus ones that I thought about. I open myself to receiving, so that helps me time and time over again. I can't, okay, I'll tell you a story. The first time I wanted to make a financial leap in my business, I was telling my coach, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to reach this, I want to reach that, blah, 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 blah. She's like, but you're not okay receiving. And I'm like, no, I can receive it. Like, I got this. And she's like, no, but you are not okay receiving. Like, receiving that amount of money feels very uncomfortable to you. And I'm like, no. And like, I remember hanging up the call and I'm like, what? Like, how can it feel uncomfortable? Like, I want this so bad. And then she's like, notice when you receive something, how you feel about it. When you receive a compliment, when you receive a free spot, when you receive a discount, when you receive a client payment, like, how do you feel about it? And literally, like, people would say like, oh my God, you look so pretty today. I'll be like, me? No, forget it. Like, I was not open to receiving, and receiving can feel super freaking uncomfortable. So you have to do that work to be okay receiving money from people. So that is the most uncomfortable thing for me. It's always a journey every time I'm upscaling, but you really have to be okay, like, allowing that in. Otherwise, you're going to wonder, like, why is it not happening? Why is it not happening? But inside of you, there's something that really doesn't want that to happen, because you're just not okay. Maybe receiving like $3,000 from one person, it's like super scary because that's what you make in a month at your job, right? So you're probably like, yeah, I really want that. But when you think about it, maybe it makes you feel like a bum, or like you're scamming someone, or like you're an imposter, or whatever. So you have to work through that part as well. Oh, no. Are you guys okay receiving? Like, I know some people are great at this, and some are not, right? So there's two energies, like giving and receiving. As women and service providers, we're usually really good at giving. We're not that good at receiving. So for those of you watching this or watching the replay, tell me which one you're good at and which one you're not. The other bonus one is I was patient. Super patient. If I would have quit my first year in business because I was not seeing the momentum that I wanted, it would not have happened. Like, you cannot quit. You've got to keep pushing, because when it comes to receiving amounts of money and income that you haven't before, you cannot, something I have learned over and over again, it's like you cannot control when or how it's going to come, or when or how it's going to happen. So we have to be very, very patient and have that inner belief that it is going to happen. So that really, really helps me every single time I'm taking the leap to the next level. Because I just literally let go of it. It's like, okay, I know this next level is going to happen. I just don't know when. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to show up until it happens. And that is how I make it happen. And then the last one is detach from the time frame. I really think that most of the times when we're like, okay, I'm going to get a client by Friday, we psych ourselves out. We're like, this needs to happen by Friday, and I am putting so much pressure on myself for this to happen by Friday, because if it doesn't happen, my life is going to go into crumbles and everything's gonna, like, when you put that type of pressure, you are literally like taking yourself out of the game, because you're so concerned about that and you're stressing yourself out that you're taking yourself out of the game. Instead, just be like, my next client is here, period, end of story. Let me be in the game and let me show up for that, so that I'm ready when that happens. Instead of focusing about like when it needs to happen, what day, what time, how, you focus on being in the game and being ready for when that happens. So Jenny says she's better at giving. I think most of us are. It's so much easier to give as women and as service providers. I don't know if it's like a genetic thing or we were just trained to be like caregivers and like give, nurture. That's our nature. But we need to get really good at receiving. So Jenny, and for anyone else watching, I'll leave you off with a little challenge today. This week, for the rest of the week, allow yourself to receive. Okay. Even if it's the smallest thing ever. I remember when my coach told me to do this, she's like, allow yourself to receive. I really couldn't. The first thing I received was a hug from my dog. She like came up to me and she gave me a hug, and I was like, okay, I'm receiving this hug and it feels kind of good. But like, you have to start small and start like being okay receiving, even if it's help from your children, or a compliment from your husband, or money from a client, or whatever. Just take the time to take a deep breath and be like, I am okay allowing this into my life, so then that you can allow more and more of that and everything else into your life. So I think that is it. I added a few bonuses because I think they're super important as well. So I'm just going to do a little recap. So 3 principles that always allowed me to upskill my income. They have allowed me to double, triple, and quadruple my income is being grateful for the little things and even the not so good things, upgrading and investing in myself and business as I go. And this means upgrading not just in investments like coaches and mentorship, but also in my belief system of what's possible. Being very responsible with my money myself, so I always felt good in this area of my life. And then the bonus ones are opening yourself to receiving and detaching from the time frame or the how, so that you can be in the game and show up for the next income level that you want to get to. That is it for me today, guys. I am going to clock off, but I want to know in the comments which one of this resonated with you the most. Which one are you committed to really starting to implement in your business so that you can open the floodgates? And also remember, Mondays at 5 p.m. I will see you here live, and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern I will see you for free business and confidence coaching. So tune in, ask your questions on Wednesdays, and leave me some comments if you're watching the replay or if you are watching this right now. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye.